Welcome to Bitboard Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest, the greatest, the most fantastic crypto community in all of the interwebs from here to Pluto. I'm your host, DZ. This is Around the Blockchain. We come to you every day at 5:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, that is. And talking about your favorite topics with your favorite guests. And today is going to be a great show. That is right. We're starting. We have Baby Yoda and Baby Yoda's owner, ByBit, one of our favorites here. We also have Joseph Parys. It's a green day for Bitcoin, so he's got that green screen. And no, don't adjust your tint. You know, that's just how it looks all the time. We also have Altcoin Daily, Austin, my favorite, the clean cut of the two twins. Aaron, we're not going to talk about Aaron, but Austin's clearly the best of the two. And we also have Ben Armstrong here. He's the George Steinbrenner of Little League. Self-proclaimed.
Right.
Self-proclaimed. So,
what is going on, by the way? I got to know. What is going on with Minnie Mouse whispering in Baby Yoda's ear over there? Like,
yeah, what
I don't know. It's
that?
Looking a little, I don't know, a little dicey over there.
She is the sugar mommy girlfriend.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. If you like sugar mamas, the candy, of course, go ahead, hit that like in the chat. We need to get these likes up. Let's try to get up to 1,000 before we even finish the first topic. But before we get into the show, let's check out a little market watch right here. The Bitcoin finally turned green. It was looking a little bit scary. We had a few red days in a row. Ethereum right now is just kind of breaking even. I mean, it's minus 0.01%. So it's kind of up. Look at that. Oh, is the BitSquad. It was you hitting that like that turned that green right there. Bitcoin looking at 48.7. Cardano 273. It had a massive run up, so I wouldn't feel too worried about that going down a little bit. If we look at the Tezos, really up there. A couple random coins. Ravane, Index, Horizon, Pancake Swap up 5%. But if we look at the losers, Avalanche finally taking a little bit of tumble. It might be time could be your last chance to get in cheap. I'm not sure. I don't see the Avalanche ecosystem slowing down anytime soon. If anything, there's more games being created. A lot of people are going to jump from Axie Infinity into Avalanche. So maybe keep an eye out on that one. If that's one you're on the sidelines waiting for, now might be a pretty good time. But who knows? I mean, we'll see, how Bitcoin performs over the weekend and over the next couple of days. Wendy, what do you think is going on with the Bitcoin right now? I mean, we have it. It's barely green. Can we sustain this, do you think?
Yeah, so it's honestly not too bearish. I know a lot of people on the internet are kind of flipping out, but honestly, if you look at the chart, and I tossed on the Bollinger Bands too, just to give some context, since we've had this run up from the bottom here, July 21st, we have been above the simple moving average 21, which is this red line down here. And every time we've pinched upper bands, we've had a bit of a reversal. We bounced off the SMA 20, pumped up, dropped down, and we've just bounced perfectly on it. And we're testing it again. And to me, I think it's totally fine. And even if we had a dip down to about 42,000, that would be fine too. I'd be concerned if we broke below that. Overall, things are looking fine to me. This is a healthy correction, and I don't think anybody should be worried.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll definitely go a little more in depth with Bitcoin on the last segment. But first, let's talk about Cardano possibly operating on an Ethereum system. If you like Cardano, let's see some hashtag ADA in chat. I know the ADA gang always surprises us. We're only at 540 likes. ADA gang, let's get us above 1,000 here. But Cardano, they're getting an Ethereum compatible sidechain that's going to use wrapped Cardano as a way to pay the transaction fees. Charles Hoskinson has actually been talking to the team, even had a comment on it. He said, sidechains are an essential part of Cardano's vision. Before he added, the protocol is called Milk-O-Meta. And he said, added that Milk-O-Meta was a valuable addition to the Cardano ecosystem. Joseph, I'm going to cut to the chase. When Cardano uses some of these Ethereum smart contracts, what do you think the first thing is that we're going to see? Is it going to be NFTs, or do you think it's going to be DeFi?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say thanks again for inviting me back on the show. The last time I was on the show, Cardano was the topic at hand, and we discussed a lot of different things that were happening there, and then it hit all-time highs. So obviously, I had to bring back the green. But
it was you were a big part of that. I believe you were a big part of that.
Clearly. But in all seriousness, no, I do think that DeFi is going to be very important for Cardano because it needs liquidity, right? So if we these new ecosystems, they need money, right? We need to get money from somewhere. And so these bridges are going to help start getting money into that ecosystem. And NFTs are fantastic, But in the long run, I do think that DeFi is going to win out. There's going to be a lot more institutions that are going to want to interact and use DeFi. And on Ethereum right now, we're seeing, again, the gas fees are starting to tick up. And as a user, people don't want to be paying $20, $30, $50 just to move money around. On Cardano, you can now, once we get some liquidity, once we get some more tokens in there, we can start actually using that ecosystem, not paying these ridiculous fees. And I think it's just going to be a very, very green for that entire ecosystem. And DeFi, to me, though, is definitely going to definitely bring some more money, some more green. And that's where my head's at right now.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Specifically there with the gas fees have been a little bit high lately. A lot of people are blaming the NFTs. I'm part of the reason I tried to mint an NFT today, $70, so I didn't do it. Came back $80. I'm like, I'm going to wait. I came back a third time, $130. So I just didn't even mint it. So I totally know what you're talking about. So they want to do wrapped smart contracts with Cardano, with the native token ADA. And that'll allow them to deploy Ethereum compatible smart contracts on the side chain without having to utilize Cardano smart contracts. So we're seeing this Cardano, it's working with other chains. They plan on branching out to Solana. They plan on branching out to Polkadot. The first are going with Cardano and Ethereum. Altcoin, does the Cardano fans, are they open to use other smart chains, or are they just so bullish on Cardano they might reject it?
I think that, first off, awesome to be back on Around the Blockchain. Altcoin Daily Army down below, give it a like. But I appreciate being here. And to answer your question, I think there's one thing you can count on from the Cardano community, and that is just community. They're in it for the long term. And to me, the two details that matter the most, one, you said that Charles Hoskinson gave his nod of approval. He likes it. And despite building decentralized protocols, nod of approval from founders this early on still matter. And two, the founder of this, Milko Mita, or whatever it was, used to work at Amerigo, which is the development arm of Cardano. All other details matter, in my opinion, but those two are the most important because I think everybody wants this. Everybody wants to make it easy for Ethereum to come over to Cardano. Cardano can easily go over to Ethereum any way they want it. But how that happens, when that happens, as long as it happens soon, does not matter as much. So I think everybody wants this, and I think the Cardano community loves this.
All right. Well, Ben, I want to give you something to chew on here. So we have a little bit of a, it's we're going to work on Ethereum.
I have baseball practice right after this. I gotta eat my meal, get my gains in my carbs.
He's the hardest working guy in crypto. We always say that. Who should be more excited about this? Should it be the Cardano users, or should it be the Ethereum users that are excited about this sidechain operability?
Yeah, they both hate each other, so I'm sure nobody's excited about it. So the only people that are excited about it are speculators. So I think what it boils down to here is that Cardano doesn't even have a working ecosystem, and Ethereum does. So the people that should be the most excited about this would be Ethereum, or would be the Cardano, developers and stuff, because once a sidechain comes on, they're going to be able to integrate that a lot easier and help build up the ecosystem by being reverse compatible, with Ethereum. So I think ultimately, though, this is big. I mean, this goes right along with the token converter, where they're going to be able to convert ERC20s over to, what do they call them? Native tokens. Cardano native tokens. Right. So, and that's something people have to understand is, once these new tokens start coming over, this ecosystem is going to fill up very quickly. And, I think we're going to see a massive bull run on these tokens being launched on Cardano. And I'd say this, even if we go into the bear market before this ecosystem fills up, I think in the bear market, watching these projects launching on Cardano could be a good strategy to make gains.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about that a little bit, how Ethereum and Cardano, the two fan groups, basically, there is a little bit of contention there. So, Wendy, I'm going to ask you, is interoperability even that important if it might be rejected by the communities?
It's immensely important. And the reason why it's immensely important is because if you have all of these different protocols, these different networks that don't know how to speak to each other, eventually the masses are going to pick up on one, and it's going to be the one that's easiest to use. But if you are a smart founder, if you're a smart developer, you're going to look for projects that are able to communicate effectively with other projects, because it's going to help you create, and it's going to help you provide the best to your community, to your business, to your DApp, ecosystem, whatever it is you're trying to build. So I feel like as humans, we often forget how important communication is, whether it's in-person communication, online, or when it comes to building things. You have to be able to effectively communicate to all parties for systems to work. And this is immensely important, even in coding and with tech.
Yeah. Well, they've been communicating that the launch is going to be September 12th. The Alonzo hard fork, it's highly anticipated. BJ, I think he has it tattooed September 12th on his arm or something like that. So people are clearly excited about it. Smart contracts are going to launch on Cardano in a matter of about 3 weeks, not even actually. So, Joe, how long after these smart contracts go live do you think that we'll actually see some like cool decentralized apps?
I think honestly, it's going to be pretty quick because, you know, obviously the Cardano ecosystem itself just takes forever with everything. But they've been building behind the scenes for quite a while. Like they're ready. Some of these projects are ready to roll. And Ben mentioned looking at these Cardano projects as an opportunity. And there are a lot of new projects coming. They are hungry. They are ready. And I truly do believe that once everything's in place, hopefully it should just be smooth sailing, right? Because for crying out loud, it has been a while for this ecosystem to get going, right? And I do think once it does get going, these could be some incredible opportunities. And one that I mentioned on my channel, just for the audience here to take a look at, is Sunday Swap. Everyone is in love with that. They just did a video of showcasing, you know, and they're in the works. They're in the development. It looks fantastic. It's a fun project for anyone who's interested in taking a look at it. Again, I just sharing, right? Like I have no incentive to talk about it, to be completely transparent. But these projects are ready to roll. So it's exciting to see. It's really cool that you guys are here to watch it happen, and we'll see what happens here in the near future. But I think they're ready.
Yeah, we are ready, and like you said, you know, they're hungry for this. You know, we have been waiting. It has been a pretty dang long time. But I wanted to mention, chat is hungry for BitBoy doing squats vlogs from UD. So I don't know, Ben, is that something we can maybe see?
Well, we've talked about doing content at the gym for sure. We were doing,
Okay.
I tweaked my leg today. It was leg day. You guys know you have to have your, no sleeves for leg day. I mean, the squat rack, the squat bar doesn't look, good unless it's on your shoulders out.
Yeah.
But we're just trying not to make it so awkward for the other people in the gym. But
Yeah,
about half
yeah,
the people in the gym watch our channel. So
I can see that being a little weird. Wendy, I know we're getting off topic, but do you film yourself boxing? How's
Of
that
course
go
I do.
down? All right.
Yeah, so the gym is a super awesome gym, and they film me sometimes, and there's babes there, so we have to make sure we don't get them in the image. But yeah, they film. She films me. We post it on Instagram, and sometimes I use them as my intros because people need to know about these guns, right?
Woo! Look at those things. Now, if you want to check,
Whoa.
make sure you follow everybody on the show. Links will be in the description, and maybe you'll see a Ben doing squats vlog. You might see Wendy, maybe punching a Hal Finney likeness. I'm just kidding, of course, not that. But all right, let's get to our second topic here. We're going to talk about Facebook possibly opening an NFT marketplace. I think that would be very, very huge. So David Marcus, he's the head of Facebook Financial, and he's the co-creator of Diem. And if y'all remember, that originally launched as Libra stablecoin, and it had a lot of basically just confusing narrative behind it. It was going to be pegged to the US dollar, the euro, the Japanese yen, the British pound, and the Singapore dollar. I guess it was going to do some sort of average. I don't know how it was going to be weighted. And then that was going to be their stablecoin, but they got a lot of pushback. I mean, basically, they're just vilified from whether it was regulatory or it was just social media, probably even the people working there, that were against for the, I don't want to say, the FUD basically regarding the environment. So yeah, there's a lot of pushback. They shelved it. They changed the name, but it's basically the same thing. So now he's saying they have a new wallet. It's called their Novi crypto wallet, and it's ready to launch. It's been in development for years, but they're putting on hold until the Diem stablecoin can launch. And then with that, they want to be able to, launch NFTs and everything else. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. Wendy, do you think that, how do you think they would showcase the NFT marketplace? Is this just going to be like next to the used couches and Yoda dolls?
You know what? Facebook has the most amazing opportunity to really capitalize off of crypto. And it's just so bizarre the route that they're taking. They have so much money, and I don't understand why they just don't hire experts to come in and be like, and buy Congress, buy the SEC, buy all these people out to kind of integrate their stuff in. But realistically, there's a huge market. Like, there's so many people that are still on Facebook that you love that platform, and they probably would just have one of those separate tabs, like, because they have different tabs for like groups or communities, places to sell, whatever it is. So it's just going to be a separate tab, and I think that it'd be a great idea.
Yeah, I think so too. Someone in chat said BitSquat. Oh, I thought that was pretty funny. So good, that was a
Somebody
good one.
also in the chat said, they also said Ben is Bowser, DZ is Luigi, and Wendy is Princess Peach.
Nah, I'm Waluigi. Yeah. All right, that was I shouldn't have. Instant regret as that left my mouth. All right. Let's get back to the NFTs here. Austin, all right. So if this launches, they have their little NFT marketplace. Do you think the NFTs would see a huge surge in sales again, kind of like we're seeing now, or is Facebook just the wrong audience?
I think the ball is in Facebook's court just because of the huge user base they already have, and it's theirs to lose. And the discussion that these corporations are having on NFTs from just 6-8 months ago is a huge difference, meaning that 8 months ago, beginning of the year, people thought, okay, cool, trading cards, the digital trading cards, these corporations, they'll sell a few things, donate to charity, they're still sort of relevant. From what we just saw with Visa buying a CryptoPunk, and Facebook obviously getting into virtual reality, the metaverse, I want to read you one direct quote from Visa on why they bought the CryptoPunk that I think directly relates to how these corporations, especially ones with huge user bases, are seeing NFTs. And that quote is, man, I had this highlighted. Oh, here it is. Here's the quote from Visa. "We think NFTs will play an important role in the future of social media, entertainment, that's obvious, retail, and commerce," meaning that NFTs can be so much more than just digital trading cards. Visa wants people to understand that, if I have a sword in the game, maybe you win it on a quest, that has a currency outside the game. We all go see that Spider-Man movie with Peter Parker, Doc Ock, maybe the first, maybe further down the line, everybody that goes sees that movie opening weekend will get a special skin. And you will only ever get that skin if you went opening weekend to Spider-Man. Visa and Facebook want to be at the front of this. They want to, be the platform that you go to transact those NFTs. So I think that's what they're seeing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think these billion-dollar media companies are going to be partnering with these billion-dollar tech companies, and that's where we're going to see huge sales. So I totally agree. Joe, what are your thoughts on Facebook's stablecoin?
Well, I think that if they can get to it quickly, I think it could be a really big part of integrating and moving people over to Facebook yet again. I feel like Facebook, for a lot of the younger generation, is kind of lost touch. But now, cryptocurrency, TikTok was used to let us talk about crypto a little bit more, and now they kind of banned it a little bit. But there's a younger generation that it's all about cryptocurrency. And I do think that Facebook could capture more of that younger generation and bring them over there. And I do think that they would be one of the first ones to actually have their own coin on social media. And that could be absolutely massive and incredibly powerful. And to be fair, Facebook still has a lot going for it, right? Facebook groups are still used a lot. My family, even like a lot of family members still use Facebook. So there's still a lot of things going on with Facebook right now. And I do think that if they're able to get that stable coin over there, it's going to be the first move towards more adoption for crypto, especially from a major company and something that people are using on an everyday basis for crypto. And I do think that if that does happen, it could be very, very good things.
It's actually an interesting take. I haven't actually thought about that. Facebook could have the first social, media coin. So Jack Dorsey, you got to step it up, man. Step it up. All right, he's cool. Mark Zuckerberg, he grills his meats. He surfs on his little paddle thing or whatever. But I'd much rather have a Twitter stablecoin than a Facebook. Ben, I can't wait to hear your take on this. Do you think Facebook's ultimate goal is to compete with USDC to be the regulator's favorite coin?
This was the original intention. This is what they wanted. This was the idea behind Libra. Now, I think, and of course now called Diem, But I would say that in reality, that ship has sailed for them and they know it. They tried that play. Mark Zuckerberg wanted to be God. He wanted to be the first dictator of the world. He wanted to have all of the money and smoke meats. So, he's lost the opportunity for 3 out of those 4 things. So I think what they're looking at now, he can still smoke meats. That's the thing he can still do. We see now that since that ship has sailed, I think what we're seeing is a recalibration of the plan. And Facebook really wants to focus on their marketplace. They really want the Facebook marketplace to become, somewhere that people shop regularly. I think this is what we're seeing from Instagram as well, with their shopping options and cart options now, that a lot of these social media companies, of course, Facebook owns both of them, but they want to shift to get more shopping on their own platform so people aren't leaving and going outside of Facebook to buy things. This is a trend we see in China with their super apps where you stay in app to do everything. And not only that, but guess what? Facebook also gets to do if you're buying things through their site. They get to track all the data from your sales as well, which is what they definitely want to do. So they're getting more data. It's a win-win-win-win for them and a loss for the American people.
Right.
But anyways.
Well, I was going to say, will they win or succeed, you think?
Well,
or fail?
Will they win or succeed? Will they win or succeed?
Will they fail?
I don't know, Daisy.
Will they win or succeed, or will they be victorious? No, will is this going to fail or succeed, you think?
I think overall it's going to succeed. I mean, their shift towards that. So here's where the NFTs go into that. If they're able to not only start capturing sales in the marketplace for physical products, but now they're able to monopolize digital products and become the Amazon of digital products, including NFTs, then not only, listen, Joe earlier said, he said they'll be able to bring in a newer generation. Oh, no. It's bring in the older generation, the Facebook demographic, introduce NFTs not only to younger people, but introduce them to your grandma in a way on Facebook that she can understand, because, she was farming the crap out of carrots on Farmville. She can certainly figure out how to use a, an NFT, as long as you don't have to leave, President Zuck's land.
Yeah, someone in chat saying the Oculus is the only thing they'll know about me, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep adding these things to attract different audiences.
That's the plan. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're playing.
Think about this. Think about this. NFTs merged with your Oculus.
Yeah. Boom. $1 million idea, metaverse integration, 3D integration. I mean, that's definitely going to be a thing, I believe. Does anybody else have an Oculus here? Nobody. No, Ben, you're the only one playing that video game. What gives? I thought you were anti-video games.
Well, we're doing it for baseball training.
Yeah. Okay, so it's cool.
There's an attachment
sports
that goes. Yeah, that's exactly. It's an attachment that goes on your literal bat, and you swing, and it's just like major leaguers are using it to train. So it's called Win Reality.
Well, if the people on steroids are using it, it must be cool. All right, well let's get to our third topic here. And I'm actually a Houston Astros fan, so I support cheaters. So I'm actually the wrong person to even talk about baseball. So anybody got a trash can for me? All right, well, we're going to talk about this third topic here. All right, Bollinger Band creator is issuing a very, very scary Bitcoin warning here. We actually have the little graphic of the Bollinger Band that he's referencing. He was saying once we got rejected off the top end, we might actually hit that bottom layer, which is around 42,000. So he was saying, quote, watch carefully, maybe take some profits or hedge a bit. And his name's John Bollinger Band. So named it after himself. That's something I would probably do the same. So I guess I have to make some Valdez bands so one day. But yeah, he's saying is the 20-day simple moving average, and the support's at 46,750. So it's a very, do or die moment for crypto and Bitcoin in general here. Wendy, this band predicted the huge run up, the Bollinger Band. We were talking about it on the show, maybe even with you, when we're at 30,000. It predicted this is going to pop. It's going to pop hard. So it predicted correctly then. What are your feelings on the indicator now?
I think the indicator is absolutely amazing, and shout out to John Bollinger. Hopefully he'll come to one of my meetups one day to drink some delicious beer. But anyways, I I'm still immensely bullish. I'm not really concerned too much about price. Yes, I am still long, and I'm willing to kind of stay on this hill and continue to be long. My stop is at about like 43,000. But it does make sense for us to get a pullback. I mean, especially the levels that he's talking about, because we did tap the upper part of the band quite a few times, and anytime we tap the top or tap the bottom, Bollinger Bands essentially measure volatility. So I mean, a correction down even to 41,000 is not going to be the end of the world. I think it's going to be fine. Corrections are very, very healthy, and a lot of people get so stressed out, so upset as to what's happening. But another thing that we're seeing on the daily is we're seeing a downward curve of the upper part of the cloud, and it's just indicating some contraction there. When you get contraction, you generally will get a big expansion or a big downtrend. I think it's fine. I'm not too terribly worried.
All right, so I kind of agree with the 42. 41, the sweat might start trickling a little bit. So you're saying 41's fine, 42's fine. At what level, Wendy, do we start to maybe panic a little?
I mean, if you're consistently taking profits, if you are managing risk, if you are hedging, if you're dollar cost averaging, if you're holding, unless you're like actively scalping or actively trading, then you should be a little bit concerned. But we're still in a bull run. There's nothing has changed. It's just be cautious. You're in crypto. You should always be cautious. You should always be mitigating risk. You should always be taking profits, and don't get too concerned about taking profits or removing some risk on the table. Nobody ever went broke from taking profits.
All right, Austin, what level do you see as, okay, this is a fine level, but once we go below this, maybe I'm a little bit nervous or apprehensive. What's that level for you?
For me, I mean, I'm a simple man. I like to buy when Bitcoin's going down. I like to sell when Bitcoin's going up, or Ethereum, or a cryptocurrency. So for me, if we're ranging, for me, it would be much more weird. I would be much more afraid of Bitcoin just stayed in the relatively exact same place for the next couple of weeks. Bitcoin ranging, 10, 15% is very normal. If we're ranged, down to 41 or as high as, back up to 65, I'm probably not going to do anything. If we were to dip below 41, 35 lower, man, I would love that, because I would buy more. Because excluding any black swan events, meaning, the housing crisis or, the next 11.9 or reverse it or whatever, that's going to put us in a multi-year bear market. But other than that, Bitcoin and Ethereum, there is no way we're not going up. When you see Budweiser Budweiser buying an ETH domain today, when you see these companies getting into NFTs, it's not a question of if, but when. So nothing would scare me. I'm unscarable, DZ. Okay, so instead of a scare zone, it's your reaccumulation zone, your load up zone. Joseph, do you have a zone that you're saying, okay, I may not say that the bull run's over, but this is maybe an area where, heed some warnings a bit. Is there a level for you?
Definitely. Well, I mean, we've been green ever since I was on the show a few weeks ago. It's been nothing but green. We have a slight pullback here, and I wear this hoodie, and I don't know if you guys can see that down below, but it says "Just HODL it." And I know that that might be the easiest strategy for most people, right? And just not panic, just relax, and just try to find some good entry points and do that. But if I were to look at, all right, where am I going to be concerned? I would say below 40,000, I'd start being a little bit concerned, to be completely honest, because at that point, you're going to be like, well, should I, is it going to go back down to 30? Or are we going back down to 10? Was this a dead cat bounce? And then we're going to have to reevaluate things. And yes, you do need to always understand both sides of the coin. Yes, we can go to 100,000, but yes, we could go to 10,000. This is crypto. You need to prepare for both of those situations, and you need to be responsible, right? And that is, something that everyone here would agree with. And I definitely do think that, we're coming into a really, really unique time with this, and it's exciting. I do see more green in the future, and shout out to the Bit Squad. There's 75 of you in here. Really appreciate you guys, and this is it's good time.
Yeah, I was laughing. Podtech in Twitch chat said, "Wait, you guys make profits?" So that's why you got to watch the show. That's why you can't trade on emotion, and listen to these experts. They're trying to tell you how to navigate this minefield that we do call crypto. Let's talk about a different strength indicator or weakness indicator. We also have the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, and on the 4-hour chart, we're starting to approach. We'll get to that in a second. But on the 4-hour, we're starting to approach oversold. But on the daily, however, it's declining to overbought. So, I mean, we're seeing a little bit of, different tails coming from whether you're looking at the 4-hour or the 24-hour. So we got green dots if you use the market Cipher. Are there any green dot strategies that you like to employ, Ben, that's, maybe been more hits than misses?
Yeah, green dot, go all in.
Okay.
Scared money don't make
all right,
money.
I'm opening.
Joe said we're trying to
20x,
teach
20x
responsibility.
long.
No, let's just go all in. BitBoyCrypto.com
I actually have
/deal.
to interrupt.
I
have
to
interrupt here.
Here she comes.
I have to interrupt because we need some more likes, you guys. We've got like almost 8,000 people in the chat, and there's only 1,900 likes. So please smash the like. If you are a fan of making money, smash that like. If you do not like this, then that means you don't like money.
Okay.
That's true.
All right. You heard her first. Or go ahead, Ben. Finish your thought.
So, well, maybe I cover this Facebook logo. People will like the video. Maybe that's what it. Oh my gosh, people like that. That is, ooh,
risque.
Is that? I heard they reversed the ban on OnlyFans. So evidence back there behind Wendy. What's happening there? Listen, let's look back to your question. I mean, right now, like I told my audience, I'm not really doing a lot of leverage trading right now just because I'm so busy. It really just is a time thing. I mean, I'm coaching baseball literally every day after the show until like 8 or 9 o'clock. So I just don't have the time to watch the charts right now. But what I would say is, look, I do not buy into anything with the RSI being overbought, and here's why. It stays overbought an entire bull run almost. If you go back and look at the charts, the only time it's not overbought is when we have gigantic dips, like gigantic dips. It stays like it's okay if you, like the Nupal, for instance, the Nupal with Ethereum during the entire bull run for Ethereum, it usually stays like up in the blue, up in the euphoria. There are certain indicators that it matters a lot more when the action is not already kind of predetermined where it's going to. We know right now we're in phase 2 of this bull run. I know what Joe said. He said, I feel like I've been picking on what Joe said a lot. But what Joe said is he said, look, it's crypto. You got to be prepared for it to go up or down because it could happen. But I'm strongly in the camp that we are going to $100,000 in the next few months. I've staked everything I've said over the last 2 months on this time period. And so there's no reason for me to change when everything is followed along outside of the manipulation on the way down we saw a few months ago. So, for me, I'm definitely planning on it going up. And so I would be very comfortable looking at the green dots and getting it on the dips. And if it does happen to move to, oversold at any point, like that's a good spot to jump in. If you're long right now, you're going to be making money. And I did want to answer the question of, where would I be concerned at? I mean, I would have to say for me to actually be concerned, it would have to go back into the 30s. And then I'd have to be like, I don't know what's happening here, But kind of a number that I'm watching right now is, and I don't even think we're going to go this low, but 45.5 is a number to kind of watch. I don't think we're going to go that low again. I think we're up, closer to 60 than 50 in the next 7 days.
All right. Well, let's share my screen real quick just so we can kind of tell the people what Ben was referring to when he said it'll stay in the overbought. If you look here, this is right around October. So October, November, December, January. And then there was a little dip in February and then March. So, yeah, like as Ben was saying, it could stay in overbought for weeks and weeks and months. But we also have, it's not all bad news. We're going to end with a little hopium here. There's a tweet that I'm going to share where the whales are buying people. If we look right here, these are outflows from multiple exchanges in an hour. This happened, about 12 hours ago now. So Coinbase, 30,000 Bitcoin. Binance, 400. Bitstamp. But mostly the Coinbase Pro, 30,000 Bitcoin outflow. That's huge. It's very, very bullish. So just hang on, folks. It's going to be a wild ride. But that's all the time we got for today. Joseph, you are our winner. You have the most points. So we're going to go ahead and give you the little final moment here. Feel free to share some of these green thoughts that you have.
Well, I just want to say thank you to the BitSquad and everybody here. Altcoin Daily is getting close to 1 million, so congratulations on all your success. And ByBit, you guys are doing amazing things. And Ben, the BitSquad, ticking up with everything again. And yes, to be fully transparent, Ben, I am as long as I can be as well. I put everything into this as well. And the green is green for a reason. So if you guys are interested in more green, definitely check me out. Links down below. Thanks again for all the support, and looking forward to more stuff in the future.
All right, we love having you on, and like I said, links in the description. Make sure you check it out. That's all we got time for today. BitSquad will be on tomorrow. Easy out.